Welcome to Shape of the City. This morning I am with Gary Fair. Gary is one of the founders of Green School Farms, and we're here at one of the farms that Green School Farms rents. Good morning, Gary.
Good morning. Thanks for being here.
Definitely. Thank you for inviting us. Could you please tell us a little bit of where we are at right now?
This is a place where we grow vegetables, and this is one of two locations. I rent this land, and then we have a second one that's that I purchased last year, and it's still being worked up. So basically I'm at this location for this year, but this will be the third season of growing.
And what's the mission of Green School Farms?
The mission that we have at Green School Farms is to basically focus on farm to school, and that's the reason for for school in the name, is because we want to emphasize our passion for providing local healthy food produced without chemicals, produced with organic methods, getting that into the schools, getting kids excited about eating healthier. And so it's really about a passion to see local food, which has grown in popularity over the last few years, start getting that into school cafeterias as well.
Definitely, that's really cool. And how long have you guys been providing fresh vegetables to the schools?
For pretty much the whole 3 years. It's been growing slowly, and we made some new contacts through networking, and but for about the last 2 or 3 years.
And how do you guys approach the schools, or the schools approach you? How does the system work?
Right. I mean, it's a little bit of both, and it involves a lot of networking. So Pius, as an example, Pius High School, the food service director there, and I met her at a farm to school summit about 3 years ago, and we both at that time had not yet really stepped into this space, and she was really interested, and I was, and so that was kind of our first connection. And then she's provided some introductions to other schools, and I've done some just some networking myself, and so it's kind of a combination, I guess.
Besides Pius, what other schools are members of the Green School Farms program?
So yeah, definitely Pius. We also sell to Christ Lutheran School, Lincoln Lutheran, and St. Michael's Catholic down South Lincoln. So we've also sold a little bit to Lincoln Public, and of course would like to do more with them. So we're still trying to kind of see how we can work with each other there. Obviously, on this half acre or 3/4 acre, I'm not going to be able to supply enough for 28,000 meals a day. So, but definitely are talking with them on an ongoing basis, and I'm excited to see where things could lead. So,
Gary, during the past years, there has been a growing emphasis on buying from your locally owned stores, locally owned garden vegetables producers. What are the benefits? Why is it important to buy locally in your community?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a great question. I think of course there's supporting the local economy, and I think people like to feel that they are putting their dollars back in the community. And when you're buying from vegetables or eggs or meat or whatever from farms in this area, then you're putting the money right back in the economy, the local economy. It's not going off to corporations elsewhere. I think there's other benefits, health-wise. People often exclaim about how fresh and delicious that produce is. If it's fresh and appealing, you're going to be eating more of it. You're going to be you can involve your kids in the preparation of the meals and explain, hey, this is what we bought at the farmer's market, and so the kids are going to be more interested in eating that and participating and just knowing that. I think there's huge benefits in knowing where your food came from, and especially how that farm produced it. I mean, we put a whole huge healthcare industry today, and so much emphasis on on, caring for ourselves, we often kind of overlook the fact of we don't even stop to think about what's in our food. What pesticides were being applied to that, or what herbicides have now gotten into the groundwater, and how is that affecting, our health long term? And so from a healthy eating standpoint, I think it's absolutely, know where your food came from. We like to know who our doctor is, who our dentist is, who our other health care providers are. Why not, know who your farmer is and know how that food was produced and where it came from.
And that brings a really good point also. Besides being able to buy it, you can also get into growing it yourself.
Oh, definitely. And, nothing is more local than your backyard. So if you want to talk about food miles, how many miles that food had to travel to get to your plate. How exciting is that to just walk out your back door, pick some tomatoes, pick some cucumbers and have a fresh salad. Yeah, absolutely. And again, that's going to be an activity that the whole family can participate in. Your kids are now outside, in getting some fresh air and getting their hands dirty in the dirt and just interacting with the natural world. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that's a big plus when you can be outside doing some exercise and growing food at the same time.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Tons of benefits there.
Definitely. And from the schools that you are working with, what's the response that you've had so far? What's the feedback that they have given you?
Most of it has been very positive. The schools are excited, again, for some of the same reasons. They're excited to support their local economy. They're excited to have, food that the kids are more interested in eating, and, coupling that with maybe some school gardens where kids are learning hands-on about these vegetables that they might otherwise be a little picky about. Now they're invested in it. They want to try it, they want to eat it. So you wouldn't get that buying from a generic distributor nationwide. You just wouldn't have that opportunity. So.
And I'm sure that maybe viewers of this show will ask, how can I help out? Can I volunteer? Can I donate land or help with grow some vegetables? What can residents in Lincoln do to help out?
Yeah, no, awesome question. I think anybody that's connected with a school, and that can be parents, that can be educators, that can be anybody on the staff or administration, just contact us, contact Green School Farms, and just reach out and say, hey, saw this segment, looks interesting, what can I do? I think the biggest way to help is really to just kind of build that grassroots enthusiasm for it, and then the more sort of enthusiasm and interest by all parties concerned is going to help drive up that demand and then encourage not only our production to increase, but to bring in other farms as well. And other farms, there are other farms selling to schools as well. I'm certainly not the only one doing it, but the reason I chose the name Green School Farms, farms being plural, is because sort of a longer term vision is I would like to see this develop into kind of a network where farms who have product to sell that can be aggregated and pooled together to serve a very large district like Lincoln Public. And so, it's a long and winding path to get there, but that's really what I would see, ideally happen in the future. So
that's a great goal. And how can folks look you up on Facebook?
So just on Facebook, just search Green School Farms. We have our page. And if you just like the page, then you'll get whatever updates we have sending out, and there's also some more information on the About page and things like that. And you can also message me directly. You'll see my name on that page. So
thanks again, Gary, and have a great day.
No, thank you.
Okay, then they go to the fridge.
Hi, I'm Pamela Mueri with Shape of the City. I'm here at Pius High School talking with Tiny, the food service director. Hi, Tiny.
Hi, nice
Thanks
to see
for
you
talking with us today. Tiny, what has been done in your school to bring fresh, healthy produce to the students here?
Love buying farm to school products. I'll tell you a little bit how I kind of got introduced to it. When I met Gary at a farm to school meeting, probably 2 or 3 falls ago, we had a roundtable discussion, which was really cool, where the farmers sat in the middle and we sat on the outside and just kind of moved and rotated around and talked to each person to kind of see, was there a connection, or would this work for us? And it was good because Gary was just getting started on his process, and then he said, well, I can't supply you everything, but I can give you, and I said, I don't depend on you to give me everything. I can, have my suppliers provide other things. But that was just a great way to get it started. So then I buy from Nebraska Co-op, but I probably buy more now from the individual farmers. I pay less. The service is there, just, they kind of know what I want to use, so that's kind of how I do the process.
Sure, and why is this important to your school?
Well, I think it's important for a couple reasons. From a personal standpoint, I came from a small town. My dad ran a grain elevator, and Dad always said, buy locally. So that's what I always proceeded to do, was to buy from local people. I think we need to support our local farmers. I think their products are phenomenal and just gorgeously beautiful, wonderful food. When the order comes, it's kind of like Christmas, just seeing all this great food when it comes in. So, and I think for the kids, they deserve the best products that we can give them. So it's been great this time of year. I know it's going to wind to a close here pretty soon, but it's just been exciting to have all this great food.
What can other schools do to bring this type of food into their cafeterias?
I think just start the process, and with school nutrition, they're really recommending that we do scratch cooking, and I'm a firm believer in that. We have at least a recipe a day, usually sometimes 2. But like, for example, last week we had turkey caprese sandwiches on ciabatta bread. Well, it was a little hip and trendy for the kids, but I had lots of fresh tomatoes and we used them, and they were beautiful sandwiches. I think they were probably more appreciated by adults than kids, but I think that's part of my job, is to be an educator, to bring new foods to them. And I served it against something really strong. I don't remember offhand what it was now, but I think that makes such a difference, what you pair it with. And then on Friday of last week, we had a gourmet grilled cheese, and we had done those. Chef Cindy did a presentation here. The state of Nebraska has her come in and teach 30 people, and she's a PhD and an RD and a chef. Great background and a lot of good work on customer service. And so there was 30 in the class, and we prepared 15 different items. That was our lunch. And one of them was the gourmet grilled cheese, which had fresh spinach, 2 kinds of cheese, and fresh tomatoes and Italian seasoning. And we probably made 200, 250, and we paired it with pizza. I mean, the pizza being very strong. And what I've been trying to do too lately is put out every day what my menu is, so that I maybe get a few more staff to come, just to kind of get them enticed with what we're serving.
What has the response been by your students, staff members, and parents serving this kind of food?
I think good. Somebody actually saw me at church Saturday night and just said, oh gosh, your food's just been grand lately. And it's just like, well, I hope it's grand all the time, but having these new farm to school things, like last week, one day we had fresh roasted green beans, and then if somebody from farm to school maybe just has, like 10 pounds of asparagus and 20 pounds of something, I'll just take it. And my staff is so good about roasting the pans separately, the temperature that they need to cook at, and then combining them, and they're beautiful. And then there's another nice potato product that's actually frozen you can throw with it if you don't have fresh potatoes, and it's just beautiful colors, beautiful taste, and we roast them in our oven. So the kids really like that. They love the roasted vegetables. And if you look at our fruit and vegetable bar too, when we're done, there's 3 of them, and they're just packed full of good stuff. So,
what advice do you have for other schools, again, going forward with bringing in fresh produce?
I think just try it. I think kids deserve really good food. I think you get a reputation as being someone who takes good care of them and that gives them the best food they can have. I'm not one for much process. I believe that they deserve to have good, solid food.
Sure. And what can parents do at home to keep this going?
Maybe take an example from that. I don't know. There's sometimes with a recipe, a kid will never have had it. I know last year one time we had quinoa. It was kind of funny because they didn't want to act like they didn't know what it was, but a lot of them didn't know what it was. Sure. And so you just keep reintroducing things like that. And I know the parents get the menus, so hopefully they look at it and think, well, maybe that's something I could serve at home. And their kids will tell them, like, I'm going to physical therapy, and he'll say, oh, my daughter just loved such and such sandwich. And, so it's just, like, I hear it kind of those ways, so.
And tell us what you're having for lunch today.
Today we are having Philly steak sandwiches on flatbread, but we've used fresh farm peppers and onions. And then we're also having chicken pot pie on mashed potatoes with jalapeno cornbread.
Tiny, tell us some of the steps you take to make your program work.
Well, I think it's really important. I guess I kind of run it as a business too, and I think that's an important part of it. We serve breakfast every day, and we also have a big a la carte program where we sell lots of different snacks that meet the Smart Snack guidelines, and we're open every day after school till 4. And that brings us in a couple $100 every day, so that adds up that I can afford then to buy the kids good food, fresh food. I'm not much of a processed kind of girl. I like fresh food, and that allows me to do that. And we're serving probably about 850 to 900 kids every day. So we go through our food fast, but we serve them good, solid food.
Thank you for talking with us today, Tiny.
You're welcome.
We're here with Mark LaRue, the principal at Christ Schools, talking about healthy foods in their school. Mark, why did you decide to give Healthy Foods Initiative a thumbs up in your school?
While our food program is strong, we've eliminated a lot of our processed foods. We've implemented whole grains into most of our baking. We realized that this was a component that we were missing. So adding the fruit and vegetable bar seemed like a logical addition to our program to offer healthy offerings to our kids.
What has the response been like from the students, parents, and staff?
It's been overwhelmingly positive. Parents are excited that nutrition is being looked at here at our school, and that those healthy offerings of fruits and vegetables are being displayed in an appropriate, wonderful way for kids to select. Students are excited about seeing what is going to be on the fruit and vegetable bar, and every month we have a harvest of the month, which kids get the opportunity to select an item that they may not have come in contact with before or have, but there's just that excitement for kids.
What can parents do at home to reinforce these healthy habits that you're providing at your school?
Certainly encourage the servings that are needed for kids on a daily basis, and to encourage their kids to try different things. Sometimes we will see kids that don't want to try something because they've never been offered it before. And so that's been a great component of this program, is we are encouraging kids to try different things.
And what can other schools do to bring this type of programming and initiatives to their school?
It certainly takes an investment, time, money, resources. And so don't let that scare you, but to really put in the time to evaluate what offerings that you should be putting in front of kids, as well as just making sure that all of the offerings are healthy for kids.
Mark, thank you for taking the time to speak with us today.
You're welcome.
I like the salad bar because of the food it provides. Lots of choices of different fruits and vegetables.
Because it's good.
I love the fruits and vegetables. They taste delicious.
I like the salad bar because it makes you strong.
Filled with yummy fruits and veggies.
The salad and carrots are delicious. I like the salad bar because I love fruit.
We're here with Sheri Wentz, school-age child care coordinator at Christ Schools, talking about healthy foods in her school program. Hi, Sheri.
Hi.
Sheri, can you tell us more about your program and what you've done to bring fresh, healthy, local foods to your school?
Well, when I started here about a year and a half ago, they already had a tower garden in the classroom that was supplying their salad bar with like lettuce and some herbs that they would cook the entrees with. And then when I came, we started the garden part of it for the summer childcare classrooms.
How have the students been involved in that kind of programming here?
The students have helped plant. They've done the watering. They've helped somewhat with the weeding. And then they enjoy mostly the water and the picking of the produce and taking it to the kitchen to mist down.
Can you tell us a little bit more about how this sort of wellness program got started here?
I believe it started a little bit before I came with a tower garden. Our previous director was really into the whole eating healthy, and with the farm to school and trying to get healthier lunches in classrooms, that movement nationwide, that we decided to try and grow some of our own.
Why is this type of programming important to your school?
It's important because it helps the kids eat healthier when they grow their own vegetables. They tend to try more things, more variety of things. And it's also a healthy lifestyle because gardening is active, healthy activity.
What has the response been with students, parents, and other staff members?
very positive. The kids love to work in the gardens. They love to water and pick the produce. The parents marvel as this fills up. They marvel at how big the melons are and different things like that. The kids like to count them. But it also is fun because we will make a point of telling them, you grew this, when we serve it at lunch in our cafeteria.
Sure.
And so then they get excited to try things they grew.
What advice do you have for other schools wanting to implement this kind of programming?
Start small. Was not what I did, but starting small, that way you can keep it successful and you can build on that momentum.
And what can parents do at home to reinforce healthy eating?
I would encourage families to eat a variety of vegetables and to buy things that maybe they're not used to and let everybody in the family try it, not just stick with your peas and carrots version.
Thank you for speaking with us today, Sheri.
Okay, thank you.
What if you could add 5 years to your child's life and make your whole family healthier with simple changes? Partnership for Healthy Lincoln wants to help you and your family live longer, healthier lives. It's easier than you think. Take the dog for a walk. Play more and text a little less. Swap out a soda for water once a day. Keep fruits and veggies handy for snacking. For more ideas, visit healthylincoln.org.
Welcome back to Shape of the City. Today we are at the Old Cheney Road Farmers Market with Sarah Smith. Sarah is the market manager and we're going to talk today about the Old Cheney Farmers Market. Good day.
Yeah, thanks for having us. It's good to have you guys here.
Oh, it's a very nice day to be here. Could you please tell us a little bit more of where we are at?
Sure, we're at Old Cheney Road Farmers Market, and we're located at the Old Cheney Center. So we're on 56th and Old Cheney, and this is our 13th year in this location. So that's where we're at. We have about 50 or so vendors here at the market, and we're open the end of April through the very end of October. So full 27, 28 week season.
Great. And for those viewers that haven't actually visited the farmers market, what kind of variety can they find here?
Well, because we're open, for a full 3 seasons at our outdoor market, they'll find the full array of products that Nebraska offers throughout the year. So, early in the season we have spring products like greens and spinach, and we'll see some berries and fruit. We're pretty heavy on produce. We're a food-only, producers-only market. And so everything that you see here is completely local, and with the farmers, they are growing it themselves. And then in the fall now, we'll see sweet corn start to fade out. A lot of beautiful tomatoes still available, and a lot of our vendors do season extension techniques, so they are growing in cold frames or hoop houses or greenhouses. And so we're going to continue to see greens and tomatoes and peppers and eggplants for the next couple of weeks. So we have 5 weeks of market left, and then we'll see some root crops. We'll see onions, potatoes, sweet potatoes, a lot of pumpkins.
Perfect. I saw somewhere online about holiday farmers market. Does that keep the same type of vegetables throughout the year, or is there any other products that come into the farmers market?
Yeah, we do have our produce vendors. Some of the experienced produce vendors especially have season extension techniques that carry them through. And so we have 3 winter markets starting November 19th, and then we go every other week, December 3rd and December 17th. So we'll be seeing some greens at those markets, those root crops that store, winter squash, potatoes, and then we also see some value-added and variety products. We'll have some herbal products there. We'll have dehydrated peppers and baked goods. Those types of foods will be there too.
Perfect. And for those clients that have not been to a farmer's market, I was under the impression that cash was the only form of payment, but I came here to your welcome booth and noticed that you accept cards and you get tokens, and also the SNAP and EBT cards, which are which were called food stamps.
Right.
Could you please tell us about the different forms of payment and how that's more helpful for clients that are trying to purchase?
Sure. Yeah, so our vendors all do accept cash, and some of them have their own credit card machines that they can run. But we do have a machine that we run here, and we cover the expenses of maintaining a credit card processing machine. And that credit card machine will run cards, and it runs EBT and SNAP cards, which previously known as food stamps for low-income customers. And so we use a wooden token for both credit card and then EBT sales. We can also take checks and provide tokens for that. And all of our vendors accept the tokens. And one thing that's new this year that we're doing is a partnership with the Department of Ag and Extension, where we're doubling are SNAP and EBT tokens up to $20. So the value of a product, if you run your card for $20, you're getting $40 of value to spend within the market. So
that's amazing.
It's good for customers, it's really good for us and vendors. So we're really happy to provide so many healthy foods and have an economic benefit too.
And how long have you been the market manager for?
This is my first year at Old Cheney.
And what kind of feedback have you gotten from the clients that come in and purchase?
You know, people love this market because it is producers only, so they really know what they're getting and they get to know the vendors and the farmers. And they really appreciate a community feel. We have live music. We have a partnership with Brian Health, and their executive chef comes in and he's done a few demos for us, and he'll be here October 8th too and doing a demo. And he's bringing in FFA students from Norris. So, you know, we just try to be a spot for different community groups that are focused on, you know, healthy communities.
Awesome. And what's the importance about buying local food, buying local from local vendors, local producers?
Well, this is the market opportunity for our producers. They keep more of their dollar that they sell. And it's a tight margin to be a profitable grower. And so this is a good opportunity to meet your customers and be able to talk about your farm or your practices, if you're organic, sustainable, grass-fed, any of those types of labels, to be able to tell your customers exactly how it is that you're growing the food. And our customers care about that. And you know, the dollar goes a lot further, and it tends to be that the vendors that sell at a farmer's market tend to circulate those dollars locally as well. They tend to buy from local businesses, and if they need equipment or hay or whatever it might be, they're going to go local to get that. So every dollar becomes like double its worth in the end.
That's perfect. I really appreciate you taking the time to visit with us today and providing more information about the Old Cheney Road Farmers Market. For our viewers, what's the best way to find out about the different products that you offer or special events coming up?
Good question. We are pretty active on Facebook, and you can find us there, Old Cheney Road Farmers Market. They can follow us on Instagram at OCRFM, and our website too. We have Old Cheney Road Farmers Market, and the holiday market information is at holidayharvestfarmersmarket.com.
Perfect. Thank you very much. Keep enjoying your day. And for the viewers out there, please visit the Facebook page and learn more about the Old Cheney Road Farmers Market. Thank you.
Thank you.
Shape Up the City is dedicated to helping Lincoln stay informed of health and wellness programs and events. Visit our calendar at lincoln.ne.gov. Thank you for watching. Until next time, get active, eat healthy, and stay informed.